Dre Wade with just released, coming live. Doom doom doo dum doo doo doom, doom dum doo dum doo doo doom. Just release man, ha 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 ha. Doom dum doo dum doo doo doom, doom dum doo dum doo doo doom. Just release man, ha 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 ha. Yeah, this is Andre Wade with just released. Yeah, come to just reminisce about some things. Yeah, to enlighten you all so you can enlighten your loved ones who are incarcerated how to make parole. Dum dum da dum da da dum. Dum dum da dum da da dum. Just release me. Ha 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 ha. I was I was thinking, right? I was thinking of how easy it is to make parole. It really is. It's really easy, and I don't care how much time you have. Because if you have some time, right? Let's see if somebody finna catch up with this dress release. Let's see if we got some backdraft. Let's see what's gonna pop up before I just gets totally in connected with this here just release. Let me see who out there watching. Let me see who out there uh, is on top. Cause you already know just release gonna come here, boy. Still sleeping, still sleeping. But when I when I come up with something, right? When I come up with what I need to express to the people, I I go ahead and do it because it's on my mind. It's on my mind, and I can express it more so better when it's on my mind instead of trying to just come off my dome and come up with some things. But I uh, I have to uh, do it when it's freshly on my mind because uh, doom dum doo dum doo doo dum doom dum doo dum doo doo dum. Just release me. Ha ha ha. The people in prison want to be released, right? People in prison want to be released. Here it is. You have people in society. Now check this out. You have people in society that's trying to go to prison, and you have people in prison trying to get out of prison. And that's something else, right? And that's a totally different mindset of people uh, in that hole. You know, people they walk the hallways of prison. They walk these bowling alleys in prison, and they try to keep their character in check. Uh, yeah, I can really, I can really talk about that because I used to be a real negative type of guy, right? I was real negative, and the only thing came out of my mouth, the only action came from my doing was in a negative manner. And I remember when I was doing time and I was on Styles unit, and I had went to medium custody for one joint. One joint I got the Sawyers caught me with one joint, a joint that I didn't even know I had. 3 years 45. Oh no, you got jokes. Yeah, yeah, I was 3-time loser, 45-year sentence, and And it wasn't easy, man. It wasn't easy because uh, when I had got to that mark, right, to that three, to that yeah, yeah, they was ran concurrent. I had three. That's okay. That's okay. In the text beat no text. But yeah, I had 345s ran concurrent. I was a three-time loser, and and had to do some time that I felt as if, at the first when I first started, that I wasn't gonna be able to do it. But my mindset had to be made up, and I'll never forget. I went to meet him custody for that one joint, so I stayed 6 months, and I came back to population, and I wasn't even in population 6 months, and me and six other guys, we was in the side of a cell, and we were blowing big, we were getting high. It was almost Thanksgiving time, so we enjoying ourselves. We was selling ounces, we was selling birds. You know what I'm saying? We selling everything. Me and these guys, so we celebrate. We got money on green dot. We got money commissary. It was a blessed time at that time, but to be truthful with you, I gave it to God. I gave it to God a long time ago. I really did. Like I tell y'all, I'm a spiritual man, and I love God. And so when I pray and I give Him something, hit that like button. Hit that like button when you tell somebody about just release. Hit that, tell them hit that like button. Hit that like button. But I me and these guys got busted in the cell, I remember, and the captain came up there because the law that was inside the picking. Yeah, and share. And share. Yeah, smash that share. Let them share it. Share this here. Share it, because this ain't just for one person, this is for everybody. And if you come in contact with somebody, share it with them. Good morning, Andre. Just uh, smash that like button. That's right. That's right. Everybody know about that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Because if you tell somebody about Just Release, they gonna like it. I was with a guy last night, and he was telling me, I hadn't seen him in a few weeks, and he said, man, my people, I got you about 100 people, man, and they really enjoying your channel. Well, a 70, I had a 73 L Dog back in the days. I had an 84 Couteville with the roof, crushed velvet seats, and I had a Firebird, but the Firebird I didn't keep long. I sold it. And I always had a woman with a car as well. I'll never forget me when my Cadillac convertible went out in my Cadillac, and I was utilizing my gal car a lot. She had a Caprice, and one day I came home. My mama told me, you need to go and get that car fixed, because that girl feel as if, as long as she allowing you to utilize that car, y'all gonna be together. And so at that time, I went and got my car fixed, and because I was in the process of really stop messing with that girl, because she had supposed to have been pregnant, and all of a sudden she say she had a miscarriage, which I thought she was really lying at the time, just to hold me, because I was a real player then. I was a real player then. I was a player, and when I was running the streets, I uh, I was dangerous. I was truly dangerous. I was a dangerous guy, but I was good to be around because we gonna get some money. We gonna get some money. Wasn't no such thing as Great Dog being broke. No, 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 no. Uh, I can stand to be broke now. I couldn't stand to be broke in them days. I couldn't stand to be broke, but I can stand to be broke now. But what took place in my life inside the walls that made me change my mindset was that day when I'm the only one who went to solitary and nobody else did, but we all went to meet custody. And the reason why they gave me solitary before we was going went inside there, the captain's office, they was watching us, and I was telling the other guys on how to conduct themselves in court, and how they can try to get it overturned. So the captain, he was looking at me, man. He was looking at me, and he knew by looking at what I was doing, I was like a leader of a pack in some sort. So he gave me 15 days solitary, man. He gave me 15 days solitary and didn't give him no solitary. But we all went to meet him custody and stuff. And so a lot went on at that time. But when I went that time, I came back in 6 months, I was back in population and I seen a guy named Manning. Manning was one of the liest people you ever want to see in your life. He just lied. It was just natural for him to tell a lie, right? Manning seen me. No, I take that back. It wasn't Manning. It wasn't Manning. Manning, forgive me, but he do lie. He lie. It was another guy, and that I used to deal with, and I was on a couple units with him, and we used to be cooks together and everything. I knew him very well. But I seen him one day, and he say, "Look out, Dre, what's going on?" I said, "It ain't nothing, man." And at this time, I made up my mind to change, right? I stopped doing everything. I stopped doing everything, right? So I say, man, he told me he had got a set off. So I said, well, I'm about to come up too. He said, well, oh, they gonna do you like they did me. I say, no, they ain't gonna do you like they did me, baby boy. I say, see, God is my parole lawyer. I say, you ain't changed, man. I say, I done basically changed. There's a lot I done stopped doing. And when God recognize your sacrifices, things that you give up, then there's a blessing comes to part. Well, I told him, I said, man, because I got the best parole lawyer. He said, who you got, Laura Redmond? I said, no, I got God. I said, I got God. And I meant that. And I was sincere about that in my heart. So when I came up to see the people. And I'll never forget, I had to see the commissioner because I had been locked up over 20 years. So when I went in there, I'll never forget the commissioner's name was Rosica. She was a white girl. And they had another girl, commissioner, which was a black chick named Pam. And I mean, Pam. And Pam was on Eastham as a CO back in the days, and I basically trained her. And she was a commissioner now. So that was in my favor. That was an automatic vote for me. She knew me very well. And so when I went in there with Rosica, I said, Miss Rosica, I said, I didn't come in here to waste your time talking about uh, what I didn't do and what I did do. I say, but I came in here asking that you do something for me. And she said, what was that? I said, I want you to go review my MO, my ruckus. See, when you done something for so long and you've been doing the same thing, that is a makeup of your MO, right? And I'm telling them that I didn't do those robberies, right? Because I didn't. So I told them I'm asking that you go back to 1975, my first time going to jail, all the way up to 1990. This is what I asked him. I say, if you see anywhere in one of the arrests that I was arrested in where I was violent, where it fit the description of these two robbers that didn't fit the description of me, I said, you ain't never got to let me out of prison. I said, you ain't never got to let me out of prison. And you know what she said? She said, I tell you what, Mr. Wade. She said, I'm going to do that. And if I recognize anything that wasn't right, she said, I'm letting you know now, I'm not going to vote for you a FI1, but I will vote for you a FI6. I received the FI6, people. Why did I receive a FI6? Because what she went and done and seen was them robbers didn't fit my MO. I was a burglar. I was a burglar coming up from a young boy all the way up to a grown man. I was a burglar. And nowhere in my arrest where I had bodily harmed anybody. Never. I ain't never been arrested for no assault. Not saying that I haven't assaulted anybody, but it became in the nature of where I was hanging out at that took place. Where I had to be that way. Because where I grew up in the park that I grew up in was a violent park. And if you was weak, you couldn't hang out there. You couldn't do nothing there. You had to be able to represent. Not so much only of you, but the park. The park got me 45 years, people. The robberies that took place that I was arrested for happened in that park, right down the street. But someone else did it, and I know who did it. I knew who did it, but I couldn't tell it. They had me in the robbery division. Detectives was trying to get me. They told me, we know you know about them robbers. All we asking that you just tell us who done them, and we gonna let you go. I couldn't do it, people. I couldn't do it. I took it to jury trial. I took it to jury trial and I lost. I lost. And my private investigator, she asked the jury, how could they find me guilty with all the alibi witnesses I had? They said that my witnesses wasn't substantial enough. They didn't believe them. But the state had all these mishaps, all these mess ups. But you believed in them, the system. But when we're in these prisons, right, when we end up in these prisons, the main focus is to make parole. Is to make parole because that's the only way you're going to get out. That's the only way you're going to get out is making parole. And if you can't make parole, then you're not getting out, right? Because you have to change your mindset. You have to change your ways. You have to change the way you think totally from the way you thought at the beginning. See, at the beginning, you couldn't make parole because you were so caught up with someone else's thought, with someone else's ways, following somebody that didn't care about making parole. See, if you go to prison, don't mean you have to stay. Don't mean you have to do your whole sentence. You can go to prison and make parole, people, and get out. Leave that place behind because that place is a disaster for people who don't care about themselves. Dum 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 dum. Just release me. Ha 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 ha. You know, the years I done, right? The years I done, I could have did it another way. I could have did it in a manner where I might have AIDS right now. I might, had lost an eye. I might have gotten stabbed. And I've been cut and stuff. I never been totally stabbed, but I've been cut, right? Because prison is what it is, man. And the prison, what I mean by what it is, and you know what? That's a good question, right? Because I literally met some guys that said that they wouldn't have took that case. I literally met some people that said that they wouldn't took that case. But I'd do it again. I'd go to jury trial again. Because I just can't tell it. I just can't tell it. It's nowhere in my nature to give somebody up. It's just not in my nature. Yes, I will go through that court system again, but I will be blind this time. I was blind the last time. You know what? I really thought that uh, I was really familiar with the law, right? But I was so uneducated in that court that it didn't make no sense. See, and we be like that, right? Us characters. I was in that courtroom and I was so uneducated with these educated people who was trying to say they asked for life. But the judge, I was sentenced by the jury, and I allowed the judge to convict me. And they offered me 45 years aggravated from the start. Plea bargain is for 80 years unaggravated, and I wouldn't sign for that. But the judge gave me 45 years, what they offered me on each count. That's how I got 3, and they ran them concurrent. But yes, I would go through that same scenario. But I keep myself out of harm's way. I keep myself within peace upon me. I keep myself where I don't be placed in that position anymore. Because see, I wasn't there. And I'm not there. See, because if I got stopped by the police, right now in this neighborhood, and they run my name or hear my name, they might start clapping. Because Andre Wade name is nowhere in the law enforcement background. It's of the past. Andre Wade ain't gonna do nothing. Andre Wade refused to go back through that system that didn't care about him. See, that system don't care about you people. Y'all out here and y'all doing this wrong. These people don't care. These people don't care. You better wake up. Stop eating the coffee and just smell it. Doom doom doo doom doo doo doom. Doom doom doo doom doo doo doom. Just release me. This is Andre Wade with Just Release. And remember, when you tell somebody about Just Release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button. Tell them to subscribe and share. The nation need to hear. The nation needs to know what it's like on the other side. The nation needs to know what it's like and what can happen to you if you go to the other side. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. But I'm basically, I believe in God and I love God. I love God and I still have faults, right? But let me tell you something about God. See, God is not worried about your faults. God is not worried about your faults, man. The religious people of this world has taught that God is focused on what you do bad. See, God can't look up on anything that's evil. He couldn't even look up on his son getting crucified. So how are you going to look up on another man after his son who is still doing wrong? and his son never did wrong. God is worried about what you're doing good. See, if your good don't outweigh your bad, you're in trouble. Start doing something good, not so much for yourself, but for other people. For other people. People need us. People need advice. People need help in so many ways. And we are good people out there that's doing wrong. Good people. Stop doing wrong, people, before you find yourself in a place where you'll be trying to make parole. This is Andre Wade with Just Release, and I'll be back with something else.